So I was saying, since you've moved up to light heavyweight, you've had 2 fights now. I guess since your last fight, you've got a bit more of like a sample size to like when you're analysing your fights,
Yeah.
see back how the differences are. Have you seen any like noticeable differences since moving up?
You know what I've seen. I mean, obviously, the move up, I think just what it done, it like allowed me to go into my capable skill set I hold. Um, I've been as a middleweight. I started off there. I've really got into my S&C over the years. Really have. I trained with a phenomenal S&C coach. I'm training tonight with Jamie Acton, another phenomenal S&C coach, Tom Aspinall's S&C coach. So here right now, it's obviously from really putting the time into that, my body grew, and we need to do that for this sport. You need to like treat your body like your body is your job, and so you need to be armored up as such. You need to make sure that you can withstand injuries and so forth. So middleweight was hurting me, and what it was giving me, it wasn't me performing to my best abilities. I was cutting too much weight. I was having like effects on my cardio, obviously shot resistance. So for me, moving up to light heavyweight was just being able to show people my full capabilities, and people that already believed in me already knew that. It was just then showing the world that.
Mm. So you think actually moving up has actually benefited you?
I mean, I'd be cutting fucking 15 kilos on fight week, and I'm not cutting it. I cut now 2 kilos, 3 kilos.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
That's enough itself. No, I'm not the biggest light heavyweight. I don't need to be the biggest light heavyweight. Like at that weight, we're all big, we're all strong, we're all athletic enough. So it's just a different. Everything's different. There's no focus on food. There's no focus on nutrition. The focus is on just getting better, being better, and winning.
Yeah. I seen in a recent interview you were
Yeah.
saying how, like, for your last camp, you were basically surrounding yourself with higher level fighters, more elite
Yeah.
fighters. So some
Yeah.
from the UFC, some from big organizations.
Yeah.
I was just asking, have you started your camp yet? And if you have, is that something you're gonna continue looking to do?
Yeah, well, I'm here now, my man. Like I'm in Manchester this week. I'm training. I was back up here last week. I've been up here a few times this year, but there was nothing materialised in terms of fights. I got the go ahead a couple of weeks back about a fight in March. Again, there was an opponent, and now there's not. So I'm still awaiting an opponent. Obviously, we're just under 6 weeks out. But camp started. I'll be here now. So weekly, I'll be making my trips to the northwest of England. And yeah, today actually was the first, or yesterday, should I say, was the first time that I brought my whole family with me. So it's it's been lovely. It's been lovely.
Mhm. Yeah, so I'm not sure if maybe he's in this camp so far. You've trained with him yet, but what is it like being around someone like Tom Aspinall? Because he's essentially on the head. He's on the hunt for the head of the king of MMA in John Jones. So it
He's
must be pretty intense.
he is the king of MMA right now, Tom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we train quite regular. I come a different weight to Tom. So we grapple a fair bit, and we do get the odd round here and there. We do actually say here and there. I do, I train with Tom weekly. He's phenomenal. He's probably one of the most humble men you could ever meet for someone of that
Mhm.
level. Um,
Yeah.
and he's an extraordinary talent. Do you know what I mean? And every time I'm up here, I take something away from the session. I take something away from, especially him. I spend a bit of time diving into asking him questions about certain things, and he's a great guy. He reciprocates it. He asks, or he tells you how it is. He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy, and it's been great to get amongst it up here. It's been great to be um, in this this training room environment that he's created. Like you've got like some of the best heavyweights in the world in the same room, and some of the best light heavyweights in the world as well, in my opinion. So it's it's unbelievable what he's created. I think one day he'll look back and see that it was huge what he done. Because right now I think he's got the best heavyweight mat in the world. And you just can't not be inspired. You can't not feel like you're getting better. Like even when I come away some weeks feeling like the nail, like getting smashed. You're coming away feeling better because you know the level of these guys. Like in my
Yeah,
opinion, Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight on the planet without a doubt. He is. And so like, how can you not be getting leveled up when you're around that? It's been an absolute pleasure. An absolute pleasure.
hmm.
Oh, sorry, there's no opponent yet.
Yeah, with no
Sorry,
opponent. So like,
it
how
just
does
cut
that
there
play on
again.
your mind? Oh, it's
Um,
probably my
do
internet, mate. It's terrible.
listen, it's probably both of us because I haven't got any Wi-Fi either. um, it doesn't play with my mind at all. The truth is, I'm ready to go, and whoever the opponent is, it isn't going to change my approach to the training. I feel like I'm a guy that I work very hard. I work hard in my career purely because I don't believe I'm talented. I'm consistent, very consistent. So um, I'm just going to carry on doing me, and the opponent will come to fruition at some point, I'm sure. But the focus won't be on anything. Like I'm not in my head right now. I'm fighting and I'm fighting. So I'm just trying to get better. All I'm ever trying to do is get better. I'm not even thinking about the fight. I'm here doing my job. That's how I see it. I'm just going to be here doing my job, doing what I should be doing. When the fight gets announced or is happening, nothing will change. I'm just going to go out there and continue to do what I do consistently every week.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, that's it. Just
So on the mental side again, like, do you have any pre-fight like mental preparation, or like maybe it's just I don't know, like rituals that you have before
yeah.
fights?
Rituals, not really, but do you know what, Jacob? I sort of have this mantra that I've sort of been saying to myself. For months now, months, and it's something that I started doing with the ice bath. It started to make the ice bath a bit more bearable for me. It was just a bit of self-talk to get me through it. And I've used this as like a mantra now, and it's almost like a 2.5 minute speech every day. And all it is just telling yourself who you are and what you want to be and what you're capable.
Yeah,
And I do that before the fight as well. Like I'm there before the fight, telling myself these things, in terms of rituals, I know like I typically try and live my life in a way that there's no change come fight night. I eat the same foods. I go to bed at the same time. I'm a pretty boring guy. Do you know what I mean? I'm a pretty boring guy. But boring wins. Boring does well.
yeah,
So yes. To answer your question, I do have rituals, but they're rituals that I do on the daily. If you get me, it's not just for
yeah,
fight night. It's what I'll do daily, making sure that I'm drinking enough water. My food has to be spot on. I don't want to spike my blood sugar too high. Like I said, nerdy little things here, but they're things I do on the daily. Electrolytes, ice bath, self-talk. That's all done pre-fight as well, but it's done every day. So I
yeah,
suppose
yeah,
my life's a bit of a ritual.
yeah. Oh, I like that. So do you have a goal in 2025, or is it just like one fight at a time?
I'd say, I'll be honest, it is one fight at a time. Um, the goal's always been the UFC, the goal's always been the UFC, and there's been times where I've been touching distance from it, and times where I've had near contracts on the table and sort of lost fights, fell short. The truth is, I believe this year I will be in the UFC. Like there's something that's overwhelmed me with belief and confidence, and again, it comes from the evidence that I present myself on the daily, that I train very hard, I train with the right people, and now I've got that belief from not just me but from the people around that I'll be there. So I think this year I'm going to be. I know I'll be in the UFC this year. That'll be something that I will achieve.
Yeah. And just finally as well, like speaking on the UFC, the same weight class that you're in now light heavyweight. I
Yeah.
don't know if you remember Glover Teixeira. He obviously
Yes.
won the belt at 42. You're
Yeah.
35 now, and it still seems like you're kind of on the rise still. Some
Yeah.
fighters see it's a difficult age. Some people start declining, and some people are in their peak, or like yourself, it just seems you're still
Yeah.
obviously on an upward trajectory.
Yeah. I
Do you
appreciate
look
it.
at some? No, it's fine. Do you look at someone like him and take like big inspiration from him? Because to do it at
Yeah,
40, it's
I
mental.
absolutely do. Even to like, there's so many guys I like. Alex Pereira, 37, 38, you know, sort of come out of nowhere, you know. Obviously Glover. There's so many guys. You know what the thing that I've taken from this sport is, like, I think the older you are, the more capable you are of achieving greatness. Like, it's not boxing. We don't, like, especially the way I'm at. I don't rely on speed and reflexes. There's something that goes in your late 20s. You know, I'm not. I don't work with my speed. I don't work with my reflexes. I've been building my, like, arsenal and my skill set over years, which is still getting better and better and better. But because this is my life, and now I've got a gym as well. So that's normally what happens when you get a bit older. People, life happens to them, kids, jobs, money, rent. And so they get to their mid-30s, and it's not a case of not being good enough. It's just a case they can't afford it. Now, I'm not saying I can afford it, but the lifestyle that I'm living, like, I run a gym, I own a gym, it's going well. That keeps me being able to train at such a level, you know. So I agree with you. Like, I did turn 35 last Thursday, and I literally, for the first time in God knows how many years, probably for the first time in a long time, I've played sport now. Fucking literally all my life. I've been playing sports since I was about 4 or 5 years old. I've been in team sports, and it's been a long time. I remember thinking to myself, "Fuck, I'm getting old." But the truth is, I'm getting better. That's the thing. Like, I'm older, but I'm getting better, and I can continue to train at the level I am because my life allows me to. Where if, like, my missus fucking made me life a bit harder and fucking, or she wanted to sack the business off or something and go and get a job, it'd fuck me, But I'm fortunate enough that the stars have sort of aligned in my life to allow me to give myself the best run I can at this career. And I believe that, from the people I'm around and the people that I'm training with, they believe that's a possibility too. And, if it's not, no worries, I'm still going to try my hardest. I'm going to try and get there. Like, why not? If I fail, fuck it, I fail, but I might succeed, and I've done something I dreamt about as a boy, and here I am as a man achieving that goal. So that'll be it.